is the Dilly Yo microphone check? See if we good. Mic working? All right, sound like it's working to me. All right, what's cracking, everybody? What is cracking? It's your boy Tech G in the place to be. Been about 2 weeks since I've made a video, and the reason why is because I was tired of making YouTube videos. I don't know if you, for those of you all who aren't content creators out there, just understand making videos can be tiresome. All right. You always got to come up with a topic to talk about. You got to put some notes together. You got to edit the video, well, shoot the video, edit the video, make the thumbnails, try to figure out how to get this thing as much maximum exposure as possible. And that stuff can just drain the life out of you. So I had to take about 2 weeks off, man, get my mind right, hang out with the fam. I went to my niece's birthday. My birthday is coming up this weekend. So, just had to get my mind right, man. So that's why I've been MIA, missing in action. But I'm going to try to get back to it. I'm not making any promises or anything like that. Shout out to my man, Terry X. But I want to talk about these jobs, man. These jobs that everybody is chasing. So, look, I understand all of y'all come to this channel and y'all want to learn about tech. You want some tech advice. You want to get certified so you can go get you a job. But you guys got to remember, especially those of you who are young and you don't have really much work experience at all, because there is a lot of young people that watch me. You guys got to remember that these companies, they don't love you, right? They don't love you. They don't really show any loyalty to you. So you shouldn't be putting your all into them, knowing in terms of being blindly loyal. I'll put it that way, because these companies these days, they will drop you like a bad habit and just find somebody else to chuck into your place. I mean, that's just kind of how it is in this world. Um, long gone are the days where the company is just celebrating you as the greatest thing since sliced bread, and you're celebrating them like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Nah, it's a cutthroat world out there, and these companies they will drop you regardless of how much experience and value that you think you bring. If your experience and value doesn't align with their bottom line and overall objectives, these companies will get rid of you. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to talk about my man Before the Billions. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen here. There's a YouTuber out there that I've done some videos with, or at least I was a guest on his show once upon a time. And he posted a video this morning that I was checking out on my way to work, working for the man, out there tap dancing and just doing the damn thing. Let me find the video. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. All right. Before the Billions, this young brother out of the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, he says he got laid off, right? And I guess he's documenting his experience, and now he's going to try to, take this YouTube thing a little bit more serious in order to develop some side income or something like that, which, I think is probably the right thing to do. And I just want this to kind of be a lesson to all you youngins who are about to get your life started. Those of y'all who are graduating high school, graduating college, coming up, and you're like, hey, I got all my education, I got my certs, I got my skills. I'm finna just go out there and just take over the world. I want you to go out there and take over the world. But I also want you to enter the world knowing that these companies do not love you the way that you think they should be loving you. All right. They will hire you, treat you like a rock star, and then cut you loose like they never even knew your ass. Right. That's just how the business world operates. And what's going on? Man, what is your name? FA? Shout out to you, bro. shout out to you with the crazy name. Shout out to my man Hanlon out there in these streets, man. But anyways, I want to play my man before the billions. Just kind of see what he out here yapping about as it relates to his unfortunate termination or being laid off, I should say, because there is a difference between being laid off and terminated. I think he got laid off. And yeah, matter of fact, it says it right there in the title. I was laid off as a data engineer. This brother's a data engineer and got laid off, man. Somebody says, "Did I lose some weight?" So let me put myself on the big screen. All right. Did I lose some weight? So in my mind's eye, I've lost all types of weight. I'm out there with my shirt off, muscles are glistening, abs are just rocked up. I'm out there stunting on people. In reality, I don't think I've actually lost much weight. It's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? I'll be 44 years old coming up this weekend, and that dad bod life is real. You know what I'm saying? I never thought I would be one of these people. Look, when I was 24 years old and I was in the army, I used to run 2 miles in 14 minutes flat. I was jumping out of airplanes. I was going on ruck march. I was just doing all types of GI Joe stuff. I had the body of a god. You know what I'm saying? Like I was that dude back in the day. Never once in my wildest fantasies back then that I would think in 20 years I will be a husband and a father of two rocking a dad bod. So right now we're stuck in dad bod mode. Then you compound that with old injuries from me wanting to be a GI Joe back in the day. And then you add on the fact that I love tasty food. It makes the weight loss struggle even harder than it should be. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I believe I have lost weight mentally. Physically, we're not there yet, but we're getting there 1 calorie at a time. All right. One day I'm gonna pop up on this live stream with muscles all over the place. And y'all gonna be like, damn, he did that. But, anyways, enough about me. Let's talk about my man's here and see what he got to say. Shout out to Before the Billions. Y'all go sub to this young man. We can help this brother get monetized on YouTube so that he can become YouTube rich out in these streets, man. So let's get it.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is William from Before the Billions, back with another video.
You know,
So, as you guys can tell by today's title, no, this is not a April Fool's joke, but I have been laid off as of April 1st, ironically. So, I wanted to make this video because the video that really kicked off the Before the Billions channel was a video that I have titled "I was laid off as a software developer." And I came out with that video back in 2020. The reason I made that video is because it happened out of nowhere. I thought that things were going to be going well at that time. Back in 2020, I was on a 6 months contract with Home Depot, and it was supposed to go from 6 months into a full time position. And everybody assured me that, hey, you're going to be going, and no matter what, everybody pretty much gets hired on after the 6 months. They may extend you for a little bit longer, but if the budget allows, they'll keep you on and you'll get put on full time. That didn't happen for me, but other people also left the team, so it didn't feel like I got singled out. But it did make me feel away because I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be having a future here at this company.
so first thing he says, he was working a contract for Home Depot. All right. So you youngins out there who've never worked, you guys got to understand how these contracts work. Contracts sound like what they sound like. You're being hired for X amount of time to perform a certain duty. And then, after that, either your contract ends or hopefully you'll get hired. Now, the thing about a lot of these contract jobs is that while you're working these contract jobs, oftentimes the employer will make these promises of hiring you on. If you go out there and do a well enough job, there's a potential for you to get hired full time. Listen, yes you can get hired, but there's a lot of instances where a lot of people don't get hired, but they get made the promise of full time employment. If you find yourself in these contract positions, They could be lucrative depending upon what you do. As a matter of fact, when I was talking to, for those of y'all who saw the videos, or I was talking to one of my former students by the name of Demetrius, the one that went from zero to $100,000 in like 2 or 3 years. I believe right now he is a contract worker. He works there for about 6 months, 12 months, or however long his contract is. And then he chucks deuces, picks up the next contract, and goes about his merry little way. When I was in Afghanistan, I used to work with a bunch of contract workers over there. Um, there are pros and cons to working contract jobs. The pros are you basically you're getting paid X amount of money to do a certain job for a certain amount of time, and then you are free to go about your business. The cons are you're getting paid X amount of money to work a certain amount of time. And then you are free to go about your business hoping you can pick up another contract. Now, if you're a good enough employee, chances are you shouldn't have any issues picking up another contract. As a matter of fact, I don't know too many people that have actually struggled in the contracting world to where they left one contract and went to another like it wasn't nothing. But the downside, aside from that, is that you're not hired full time. Also, you may or may not qualify for any type of benefits from the program, from the employer, like healthcare benefits, retirement benefits, or 401ks, and all of that stuff. So you're kind of out there on your own to kind of figure out your own finances, and hope and pray that you don't mess around and get sick and have to end up in the hospital and pay your hospital bills. So there are pros and cons to it. If I had to do it all over again, as a matter of fact, when I was actually getting out of the army, I was thinking about actually becoming a contractor back in Afghanistan because of the ridiculous amounts of money that they were paying. And one of the contract jobs I was looking at the time was offering $250,000 a year to go over there and do 12 months worth of work in the combat zone, dealing with the Taliban and all that crap, a place I had just left as a U.S. Army serviceman, just to go over there and work. But, came back home, talked it over with the wife, and she was like, nah, B, we done with the deployments. You know what I'm saying? I've been over to the desert enough. So I didn't do that. All right. But I kind of wish I did because I would have made enough money. I probably would. Here's my thing. If I had went back over there after Afghanistan, I predict I probably would have tried to do about 2 or 3 straight years over there. I would have made so much money. I would have been able to pay my house off in cash. Like that was the vision I had. But the wife was like, nah, B, bring your ass back on home. So I came back home. But anyway, so those are some of the pros and cons. I mean, obviously there are more pros and cons, but I think the biggest one is the quote unquote flexibility of not being locked into a company, where you just like I say, you just sign up, or not sign up, but you get hired on and you work X amount of time, collect your check, and then after your work is done and your contract's completed, you chuck deuces and go on to something better. And chances are there's going to be something equally great or even better than what the current contract that you were working. All right.
And I did not, after going through a lot of interviews to be able to get the job. So fast forward to when I got my very next job, which was at Ronstar USA. I have been working there for over 4 years, and I quite enjoyed my team, and I enjoyed the opportunities that has been able to allow me. And I am still thankful for a lot of the things that I have experienced over these 4 years working at Ronstar. So, if you guys don't know, when I got laid off from my previous job, it kickstarted the channel. But now that I'm getting laid off again, I have a more of a drive to be able to make more videos on YouTube and to have a little bit more of an entrepreneurial spirit. I do want to go ahead and find another position as well, but I do see how it is important to be able to have something on the side so that way you can make more money while you're pretty much not making money that would allow you to be able to take care of your bills. I used to be monetized on YouTube, and YouTube took away my monetization. And then now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get my YouTube channel back started again to where I can make some more content, get some more views and subscribers, and then hopefully within the near future I'll be able to get monetized again to kind of help out with this transition period.
So I always tell y'all, you got to have something going on the side to bring in extra income. All right. Because these jobs, they don't love you. So no matter how you feel about your job, how great you think your job is going, you can be laid off at any time because you don't own the company you work for. So with that being said, you all out there, and it doesn't matter if you're young or old, you all need to be going out there trying to figure out how can you create additional income in your life, whether it's through a side business, a side hustle, or whatever it is that you feel like you got to do. OnlyFans, I don't care. You got to go out there and do what you got to do. And YouTube is one of those things that I personally think is one of the easiest. Well, let me back that up. YouTube YouTube is one of those things that is quote unquote one of the easiest things that you can possibly do to try to generate extra income. Now, what do I mean? Now, I don't want y'all to get this mistaken and thinking that the moment you go out there and start a YouTube channel, next thing you know, you're going to go viral and you're just going to have hundreds of thousands of views and everybody's going to love you and treat you like you're a freaking Mr. Beast or something like that. That's probably not going to happen. But I'm saying that it's quote unquote easy because I always tell people, if you know a lot about a subject or you're very good at something, why not start a YouTube channel? You make a couple videos, grow that thing, put your time in, grow that channel. Potentially that channel could turn into a cash cow, depending upon the type of content you do. I'll put it that way. But that thing could turn into a cash cow for you potentially, or it can create other opportunities for you to derive other types of income that don't necessarily require you to have to rely strictly upon AdSense, super chats, and all that. And if you guys want to hit the super chat button, go ahead and hit the super chat button. But the whole point is, regardless of what you're doing, you need to be coming up with additional sources of income for the event that you get laid off, you get fired, whatever the case may be, because you just never know. We don't live in this world where you can go work for a company 20, 30 years, outside of the military, but you go work for a company 20, 30 years, and then you get your retirement check and your Rolex watch and your picture hung on the wall for doing 25, 30 years worth of service. Now these companies will let you go. What you need to be doing is figure out how can you create additional streams of income for in the event that you find yourself in this unfortunate predicament of being laid off or fired, so that you have money stashed in the cut so that hopefully you can maintain your lifestyle until you find another source of employment, or your side business, side hustle, whatever you got going on, your YouTube channel picks up and starts making enough money to where you can develop essentially what's called FU money. FU money, I'm not going to say the curse word on here, but FU money is basically money that you have in the cut in the event that something that you don't like something going on at your main job. You can tell your main job FU because you got enough money stashed over here to where you can kind of go do what you want to do. So these are some things that you guys need to think about, especially you youngins. Like I say, there's a lot of high school kids who watch my channel, and it's a lot of people in college who have never worked a job who watch my channel. You guys send me messages all the time, so you guys haven't officially entered the workforce, and some of y'all are about to graduate high school and or college, and you're thinking that the world is just gonna open its arms up to you and just accept you. I mean, that might possibly happen, but reality is these companies don't love you. There's no loyalty. If they don't like something you're doing, or you work in one of those states where they can just fire you at will or whatever the case may be, then you might be out there on them streets just bucket naked asking people for money. So you need to figure out how can you develop additional streams of money so you can put money away or use that money to invest in something, another business or whatever, however you feel like generating income, so you don't find yourself strictly dependent upon one source of income. In the year 2024 and moving beyond, having just one source of income is a futile endeavor. All right. You need to have at least the bare minimum, two sources of income coming in. And they don't necessarily have to be even. Like, let's just say your job's paying you 75,000. I'm not saying that you got to have a side business paying you 75,000, although that would be great. But even if you're just generating an extra $1,000 a month in side income, 12,000 a year, you need to have something that's building, because you are essentially, you know, you're risking your livelihood. You're risking your sanity if you think that you're going to be able to survive and thrive strictly off of one income, and that income is going to always be there for you, because it may not. So go out there, start something up, man. If you can't afford to start up a regular business because of all the expenses associated with it, start a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Put some work into that thing, and that thing might blow up.
With that being said, guys, I do fully appreciate all of the BTB squad. I really would not be here without you guys with your consistent support, especially I want to give a huge shout out to the networkers as well in my Discord chat. I thank you guys so much for coming in, joining the voice chats, and speaking with me, giving me advice, and also listening to the advice that I can give as well based off of my experience as a data engineer. And I want to give a huge shout out to everybody else who watches my videos, interacts with me, and also all the people who may have helped me out in the past, especially when I set up my BTB meetup event as well. So just want to give all my thank yous to everybody. Another thing I want to say is that I am looking forward to actually partnering with other organizations as well. So I just had a meeting earlier today, and I have not solidified anything yet, but I have um, got some inquiries into the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs over there by Morehouse College or Morehouse University. And with that, I have actually spoken to the team over there, and have planned on setting up some time for me to go ahead and film some content over there. So that would help with increasing the value and the production value of these videos and the channel. So please go ahead and look forward to it. I'm expecting to have guests to be sitting in person with me in a studio setting, as you may see on many other podcasts as well, because I am trying to go ahead and start taking Before the Billions a lot more seriously. I've been doing Before the Billions. I had my LLC for about 3 years now. So I've been making content since 2020. It's 2024 right now, but I got my LLC in 2021 for Before the Billions LLC. So that's my contribution to trying to make this more of a serious venture into content creation, into helping out the community. Overall, Before the Billions is a tech channel where I am discussing not only my own experiences, reacting to content that I may see that I feel passionate about, but then also I would love to have other guests come on and we have discussions about tech related things or things relating to the economy that kind of come from um, innovations within technology.
All right, my bad. Am I muted? Am I still? Am I good? All right. Anyways, so that's our man's Before the Billions. All right, y'all go ahead and give his brother a subscribe. Tech creator, friend of the channel, young man out in Atlanta, lost his job, laid off, or whatever the case may be. You know, I just wanted to play that real quick because like I said in the opening of this video, these companies don't love you. You gotta always be on the lookout for numero uno, so that you can be prepared as best as you can in the event that these companies cut you loose. And it doesn't matter how talented you are, how likable you are, how skilled up you are. If a company feels like your contribution isn't meeting the needs of the bottom line, they will cut you loose. But the things you need to do to prepare for that, you guys need to go out there and figure out a way to generate extra income. All right. Take whatever knowledge and skill sets you have and go out there and start a business, a side business doing it. Like I said earlier, if you can't afford all of the expenses associated with starting a side business, the least you can do is start a YouTube channel talking about your skill sets. All right. You all will be amazed as to how many channels out there have large audiences and are making decent income, not just off AdSense, but off affiliate links and products and services that they sell, just because a person is talking about their skill set, right? I'm subscribed to um, this one particular YouTuber. This person is a teacher, and I don't even know how I came across this person's channel, but they've turned they were a high school teacher or a middle school teacher or something like that, and they turned this thing into a YouTube channel that generates probably like $200,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? So these are just things that you guys should think about. Now, I don't want to turn this into a stream on trying to teach you guys how to become YouTubers. That's not what this is about. This is really me. The reason why I'm mentioning YouTube is because this is a quote unquote easy way to begin the process of trying to develop an additional stream of income so that hopefully you can offset that against the potential for you being laid off. But it's not just about YouTube. You know, if you got some side hustle, you cut hair, you wash cars, or even if you took your tech skills and found a way to turn it into a side. Matter of fact, I got a coworker that does this. What he does, he goes around fixing laptops in his spare time. Like people got their old little laptops. Instead of them taking it to the Geek Squad, they'll come pay him $50 to $100. He'll fix their laptop, revamp it, you know, bring that thing back to life, especially if it's an older laptop. And that's how he makes additional incomes to do whatever it is that he does. And he makes, from my understanding, he makes a pretty decent income because every time I see him, he has a brand new laptop that he's tinkering on. I don't know where these things are coming from, but they're all finding their way to him. So these are just things for you all to think about as you guys go out there and get a job. Just remember, these jobs will cut you off. So you need to be coming up with additional streams of income to support your lifestyle and your dreams and goals. All right. So shout out to my man Before the Billions. If y'all want to get his brother to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe to him. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and get some of these comments that I was supposed to do last live stream, but I got tired of live streaming. Let me go ahead and address this guy right here. My man's here, Hawkage. He says he's been in the tech game for about 3 years as a knock and a SOC tech. That's Network Operations Center and Security Operations Center. For those y'all don't know, he says he was thinking about using Pathwise. Any thoughts? Pathwise. I want to say Pathrise, but you said Pathwise. So let me go look up Pathwise. I'm not sure what the heck that is. I'm assuming, let me share my screen. I'm assuming you're talking about this right here. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know what the heck Pathwise is. But where we at? Is this it? This career management thing? Is this what you're talking about? I'm not sure what this is. I'm assuming this is what you're talking about, Hawkage, whatever your name is. But if this is what you're talking about, and if this company can help you with your career, coaching, career content, whatever the heck it is they offer, then I'm just gonna assume it might be worth it. As a matter of fact, on my YouTube channel, I actually offer something similar. You go to Tech G, you go to these live. Let me see, is it the live or the playlist? All right. Anyways, you go click on this video, Path Rise. I don't know if you meant Pathwise, but there's a company that I deal with called Path Rise, and they pretty much. Anyways, they do something pretty similar. Let me find a link to this thing. Hold on. It's a company that I'm an affiliate with. Right here. There we go. Where they offer career mentorship. They can help you find a job. At least that's what they say. They say they help you find a job, help you get hired, earn more money, salary negotiations, but they say they're 100% free until you get hired. All right. And to qualify, you got to have some type of background in IT or one of these other things. So I don't know if you meant Path Rise, because that's the company that I deal with. But for those y'all out there who are going through some type of training course right now, get your certification and or degree or whatever it is. And if you feel like you need help out in these streets with job placement, salary negotiations, mock interviews, and all that stuff, y'all go hit the link in the description box for the Path Rise. And they're supposed to send me a little kickback, but I've yet to get one kickback from this company. But regardless, that's something for y'all to consider taking advantage of if y'all feel like y'all need that in your life. All right. So shout out to my man Hawkage for that. But anyways, let me go ahead and get to some of these other questions here that some of y'all left. All right. So this is from a person named In My Experience. He says, Tech G, I'm a 17-year-old father of one going to the Army Reserves. He says, one of the jobs offered is 25 Bravo. He says, I want to pick this job because it's remote. I have no experience in IT, however. Then he says, what should I expect? What kind of job can I get directly after AIT training? Would I have to go to school as well to make an actual good salary? And is this MOS even worth it? All right, MOS stands for Military Occupational Specialty. And when I was in the Army, that was my MOS. I was a 25 Bravo. All right, basically, that is the IT specialist for the U.S. Army. There's another one called 25 Delta that had just started about a year or so before I got out the Army. And they were like the cybersecurity specialists or something like that. But anyways, your man says he's 17, father of one, he's joining the reserves. And he says he want to pick this job because it's remote. I don't know what that means in the context of the U.S. Army. I've never met anybody in the military. Well, remember, I was active duty, so I've never met any active duty personnel that was in the military that worked a remote job doing IT. I don't even know if they exist. Now in the reserves, because you're a part-time soldier and you're working, you only show up what, one weekend a month, 2 weeks out of the year, or whatever the heck the deal is. I don't know if that's slightly different for the reserves. And I don't know what your recruiter may have told you, but I know at least from the active component, nobody was doing remote work. Then he says, what can he expect to do after AIT? So AIT stands for Advanced Individual Training. So my last 4.5 years in the Army, I was an AIT instructor. And this is where I spent 4.5 years teaching new recruits the 25 Bravo MOS, teaching them A plus, Net plus, Security plus, CCNA stuff, and some other secret squirrel technologies for the U.S. Army, right? So he says, what kind of job? He says, what kind of job can I get directly after AIT training? So being that he's a reservist, right? More than likely, what tends to happen with the reservists after they graduate AIT, they tend to go back home to their home unit from whatever state that they're from, and essentially return back to civilian life / part-time military life, right? Those of us who were active duty, we got sent to our first duty station, and next thing you know, we're out there cutting grass and doing a whole bunch of stupid crap till it was time for us to go to work. But he's going to go back home. So here's the thing. When you go through AIT training, it's probably in your best interest to try to get certified in all those certifications that they're going to be teaching you: A plus, Net plus, Security plus, and whatever else that they're doing at the schoolhouse these days. Because I haven't been there in almost 10 years, so I don't know what they're doing anymore. But take all that knowledge, and you'll probably be able to apply it to fatten up your resume and go out there and get you a tech job like everybody else, right? Then he says, would I have to go to school as well to make an actual good salary? If you're in the military, which I'm assuming you might be at this point, and you're in the reserves and they're giving you some money to go to college, then I will go ahead and take advantage of that and go to college, major in something like IT, cybersecurity, especially if this is what you think you want to do, and take advantage of that. And then that can only help you out in terms of once you graduate, that can only help you out in terms of possibly getting higher positions and higher salaries. So you want to know what type of salary is good. Well, salaries are all dependent upon where you live. So if you live in my city, like I live down here in Florida, and where I live at in Florida, let's just say you're making $150,000 a year down here where I live at. Down here, you're pretty much balling out of control compared to damn near 99% of the population out here where I live at, right? But if you're making $150,000 a year living in San Francisco or New York City, you know, That's probably the equivalent of somebody making $60,000 a year where I live at. So, oh, hold on. I'm gonna call my mom. I'll call her back. But anyways, these are just some things you got to think about, man. Salaries are dependent upon where you live at. Well, first and foremost, they're dependent upon where you live at and the cost of living and all that stuff. So, I don't know where you live at, but let's just say you live in flyover America. If somebody offers you a job, 60, 70, 60, $60,000 a year, that might be pretty good money starting off. But like I say, it's kind of hard to answer that question because I don't know where you live at. So yeah. But yes, overall the MOS is worth it. So shout out to that dude. So I just want to somebody says a remote deployment. I don't I don't know about any of that stuff. Listen, I've been out the army. I got out the army in 20 here I get out. November 17th, 2015. So I've been out the army coming up on 9 years. I don't know. I know a lot has changed in the military, right? A whole bunch of this stuff has changed. So I don't know what they're doing in the U.S. Army or in the military in general anymore. I don't live next to an army base. I'm just not a part of that world anymore. So if they're doing remote stuff, that's brand new. But I know when I was in, that was unheard of. I didn't know of anybody that was doing nothing like that. So I don't know. All right. All right, my man Dan Bernard here. He says, I took a CNT. What does that stand for? He says, I took a CNT 9-month course at FCC College and graduated 93.7%, but I'm unsure which role I should go into because it's been about 6 years since graduation and haven't done any work in IT yet. Hold on, let me read this again. All right. Need y'all to take an English class and learn how to put periods and commas up in here. He says, I took a CNT 9-month course at FCC College and graduated 93.7%, but I'm unsure which role I should go into because it's been about 6 years since graduation and haven't done any work in IT yet. Though now I'm back motivated to get back started in studying for certs and get an entry level job to start up my IT career. Says, can you help any? Yeah, like I say, we're gonna have to start helping you with commas and periods and all that stuff. Anyways, he says, and should I take IT fundamentals or should I just jump into A plus, being that I already had schooling in computer network technology? All right, bruh. So here's the thing, man. Go ahead and get your A plus certification. You already have background knowledge in tech. Remember, IT fundamentals is really a certification that is for people who know absolutely nothing about tech and they want to get an introduction to the wonderful world of IT. A plus is a cert that focuses on teaching you about the computer, hardware, software, how do they come together to make a computer a computer. So go ahead and get that certification, especially since you said you already have a background, you went to school for it, and you got some type of background working in it already. Go ahead and get your A plus certification. And then from there, get your network plus and security plus, and then figure out exactly what in tech you want to do. You want to go networking, cybersecurity, cloud, database, whatever. I really don't care. Whatever it is that you feel like you want to do. But yes, go get your A plus cert. As a matter of fact, for those of y'all who want to get certified, y'all know, y'all see me dropping these things on the timeline. Uh-oh, that wasn't what I wanted to click. Where'd it go? Well, here we go. So if y'all want to go get certified, I got my A plus course running right now, where I will work with you to the best of my abilities to help you pass this test, except for take the test. I'm not going to take the test for you. All right. But you can sign up, apply, because you got to apply for this 12-month program to get you right. And people are like, why is it 12 months? Because life happens. All right. There's a lot of coursework involved in this. We're not just going through showing you slideshows. Yes, you're gonna get them slideshows in your life, but I'm also exposing you to a lot of other stuff, mostly labs, and mo labs to so that you can take all the knowledge from those wonderful slideshows I put together and actually apply it in a meaningful way so that when you go sit down and interview for a job, you can demonstrate you actually know how to do some crap. Meaning you're not just in there talking about, yes, I know what Active Directory is, but you can also be like, yeah, I've done this. I know how to set up a GPO and Active Directory. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. I know how to set up I'm trying to think of something else. Anyway, I know how to do this. I know how to do that. Right. So that's what this course is designed to do. Right. Trying to teach you all those wonderful slideshows so you can have all that wonderful knowledge in your brain so you can go pass these doggone tests. But more importantly, want to get you the skill set so you can actually start adding stuff to your resume saying that you know how to do things other than just pass a test. All right. So if y'all are interested in that, y'all know what to do, man. I'm gonna drop this link in the chat. Y'all go apply for the program. The only information I collect from you is your name and your email address. I'm not asking for your social security number, picture of your baby mama, and none of that crap. So if you're interested in that, go apply. And if we think the program is right, we'll figure out a way to work with you. You dig? But anyways, let me get back to so yeah, so hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Dan Bernard. Go get your A plus cert. Come holler at your boy Tech G. I'll get you right out in these streets. All right. Let's see. Who is this? He says, what is a good starting salary as a junior cybersecurity analyst fresh out of college in Atlanta, Georgia, with Security Plus cert? All right. So here's what I'm going to do for you. All right. We're going to go to Indeed. Let me go find Atlanta, Georgia. Indeed is your friend, ladies and gentlemen. How you spell Atlanta? Atlanta. Here we go. Oh, my bad. Y'all can't see my screen. All right, let's go to Indeed, right? So let's go ahead and type in cyber security analyst. Let's see what pops up. There we go. Cybersecurity analyst entry level. Let's do 50-mile radius. Entry. Oh, my bad. I'm about to say 30,000 jobs. All right. Cybersecurity analyst, Atlanta, Georgia. All right. Let's just see what's in your area. I don't know what type of education you. Let's go with this. All right. Here we go. So I put entry level cybersecurity analyst, Atlanta, Georgia, 50-mile radius. That's the only thing, the only criteria that I put up. Did I put certification? Do they have a certification thing where I can put on here? No, they don't. All right. Anyways, I put that. So here's what they're showing. So you got one job saying $80,000 to $120,000. I don't know if that's realistic or not. Let me see. All right, let's figure out what you're gonna be doing first. You'll be policy tuning, diagnostics, some other SI security tools. I provide timely support for IT teams where security technologies may be a contributing factor. Review tickets, change requests for risks to identify security policies that need to be tuned. All right, this thing is vague as hell. So you need to have systematic thinking. The hell does that mean? Critical thinking? Is that what they call critical thinking? They call it systematic thinking. Is that the new word now? Excellent interpersonal skills, meaning you're not a weirdo. Can you go to work and people actually get along with you? TCP/IP tools, packet captures using a bunch of Wireshark stuff, X509, DNS, Active Directory, ad hoc endpoint detection, application tools, Microsoft Stack. Got to have familiarity with all this crap, Zscaler, cloud infrastructure, Splunk, PowerShell, SQL. All right, so that one's saying 80 to 100,000. You got another one down here in Suwannee, wherever the hell that's at, 85 to 90,000. We got one down here for 50 in Decatur. All right. So these salaries are kind of all over the place. Let me see if I can. Let me do a different criteria. Hold on. Let's just put in security plus. All right. All right. So I just put in the certification because you said you had security plus. So let's just see what pops up with that to see if something is more consistent, not like kind of because 80 to 100 and whatever it was, that was kind of a wide range right there. All right, so we got one job. Oh, wait, oh, this is a security specialist. This ain't a security plus. All right, that's probably not what I'm looking for. Hold on. Let me see. All right, let's just do cybersecurity. Um, they don't list any of the certs on here anymore. All right, I think we already looked at this one, right? 80 to 95,000. First, second line support, remote and off premise, plan, design, configure, and do some other crap. Got to be familiar with LAN and WAN and Wi Fi. Experience with layer 2, 3 technologies, project management, switching, routing, automation. All right, so that's one job. Let's see. We got another one, security analyst. Is this the one we looked at already for 100 for 80 to 120,000? We got one down here. I don't know what the hell this is. What is this? $25 an hour. What is this? I don't think that's a tech job. All right, here we go. We got the hell is this? Uh, I'm just quickly scanning these things, looking for stuff. I'm not gonna read what the hell HIV status. What the hell going on up in here? Oh, my bad. Oh, I just saw something that said HIV status. I'm like, what they doing up in here, man? I guess that whatever. All right. So, anyways, based off of this, because all right, they're not showing any more salaries, man. So, based off of you being in Atlanta, Georgia, with a security plus, trying to become a junior cybersecurity analyst, I'm going to assume, I'm going to assume a good starting salary for you is probably going to be around $70,000, 65, 70,000. You might be able to creep into this range right here. All right, that's what I'm going to. What was that HIV stuff about? Let me go back because I was like, why did I just see HIV? Oh, this is a. Oh, okay, I see. So this is an affirmative action and equal opportunity. Oh, okay. So they're saying that they're not going to discriminate against religious practices, sexual orientation. I just happened to see HIV status, and I was like, what kind of company? What going on? I know that's Atlanta, Georgia, and y'all out there on some wild, crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I was telling my wife, that Freaknik documentary came out. For those of y'all who don't know what Freaknik is, but this was back in the early mid 90s. This was a big party out in Piedmont Park where a bunch of college kids came out there and they were just wilding out. And it was just a documentary that came out about it on Hulu not too long ago. Anyways, I was telling my wife back in 95 when I was 15, I was actually at the Freaknik. Now you're like, now I wasn't participating in it, but what happened, we were visiting my uncle, and my uncle lived at the time, he lived in a house directly across the street from Piedmont Park. And so I just go outside and the Freaknik is happening right there in front of me. And I'm a 15-year-old kid just looking at some things and things and things. And I was like, wow, they really different out here in Atlanta. But anyway, so when I saw this anyway, that's my Atlanta story. So, anyways, getting back to this, maybe around 70,000. You might be doing some things in Atlanta right there. So that's what we're gonna assume. All right. Remember, like I say, salaries is all dependent upon where you live. So I can't give you all the definitive answer because, like I say, what applies to me down here where I live at in Florida may not be applicable to you in your area. But the one thing you can do is just go to Indeed, type in the criteria for your job in your city or whatever area that you live in, and just look at a bunch of different listings and see what these companies are offering. And that'll kind of give you an idea of what to possibly expect. All right. All right. So shout out to that question. All right, this person, Shy Shep, y'all on these names, man. Says so a few updates. He says, since I made this post, I've had my resume looked over and edited several times. It's much better now, and I'm getting interviews on a fairly regular basis. So what isn't the resume? All right. He says, I've been told by two separate hiring managers that I am overqualified for the roles that I'm applying for, entry level help desk, that I should be applying for L2, L3, or even junior admin roles, despite not having enough experience for those roles. He says, I'm worried that I may now be in a no man's land of unemployability, too experienced for entry level jobs and not experienced enough for mid level jobs. Appreciate your insight, and I continue to enjoy your content. So, shout out to this dude right here, or woman, but whatever. But this person says that they've had their resume fixed. So I'm glad that happened because let me just keep it a buck. A lot of y'all suck at resumes, right? You suck at putting resumes together. You know how y'all. Let's go back to my last comment, right? So y'all know how I was over here making jokes about my man's here not putting periods and commas and using grammatical, proper English grammatical structures and all that crap. This is how a lot of y'all put y'all resumes together. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say that point. Like this is how people actually put resumes together. It's just horrible, right? Y'all put together these big super long paragraphs and y'all think that somebody actually wants to sit there and read that crap. Ain't nobody trying to read that crap, man. Y'all need to learn how to get bullet points in your life. And this is one of the things that I'm thankful for when I was in the military, right? When I was in the military, we had these things called NCOERs, non-commissioned officer evaluation reports that we had to do every quarter or once a year or whatever the case may be. And it was always stressed beyond the ultimate levels of stress that you had to put everything with bullet points on it to make it simple for people to read and comprehend because ain't nobody got time to be sitting there reading no freaking paragraphs. I mean, just think about this. Just imagine if you are a hiring manager, right? You advertise a job. Let's just say you're working at the help desk, right? Or a help desk job or whatever. You do realize it's probably gonna be about 1,000 people that apply for that job. And then out of the 1,000 people, you got to figure out how to get this thing down to about 20 candidates. And then out of the 20 candidates, they all give you a resume. If all of them got paragraphs and book reports as resumes, can you imagine sitting there reading that crap? Do you know how much time you're going to be sitting there reading and scanning through Anybody got time for that crap, man? So I'm glad this person got their resume fixed. Whether this person fixed it or they took it to a professional resume fixer or whatever they call them, or whatever them people are called. But you guys are horrible at resumes and how to structure them, how to make them look pretty, easy on the eyes. Because, let's just say, here's a piece of paper right here, right? Here's your resume. I'm gonna put myself on the big screen. Give me a second. Where we at? Where my mouse at? There we go. So here's your resume. So when somebody gets your resume, where's my camera? Okay, here we go. They're probably only going to read the top portion, like your little bio, your little paragraph saying, hey, I'm a good person. I've been working in IT for 20 years. Hire me. And then they're probably going to be like, read your little qualifications right here. Ain't nobody going through all this other crap about how you used to walk dogs for old ladies and how you was out there, being a vigilante, stopping crime. Don't nobody care about that crap, man. They just want to know where we at. They just want to know. They just want to see the top freaking lines right here. That's all they want to read, man. Don't nobody want to read the rest of that crap. Nobody cares about all the other crap you got going on. Especially if they haven't sat down and interviewed. They just want to see the top line and see, hey, this person is qualified. Get them up in here. All right. Anyways, go hire. So if you suck at writing resumes, which is probably you, go get the services of a resume writer. All right. That's what they do, man. They hook your stuff up, make it look fly. Now, this person says he may be overqualified for an entry level job. And he says he's not qualified enough for a junior role. So he feels like, I'm assuming this is a dude, but he feels like he's in no man's land. So he got two options here. One, you can take your resume and start deleting crap off of it. That's what you can do, right? So in his unique position where he's trying to get an entry level job and he's being told that he's overqualified, you might need to go get your resume and start deleting crap off of it to make it look like you're an entry level person. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out there and delete your work history, but you might want to go in there and edit up your work history to make it seem like you have no experience in tech. So let's just say you got your A plus, your Net plus, Security plus certification. You might want to delete that crap off your resume. You know what I'm saying? Or let's just say you was working for another company and you were working at the call center, or you were doing some help desk type of work, or whatever, system administrator type of work. I don't know. You might want to go through and edit that resume up and get that stuff off the resume to make it look like you ain't never worked tech a day in your life, so that you can qualify for the entry level job in his unique position. This is not applicable for everybody. Now, the other option is you say that you believe you're underqualified for a junior admin role. Well, what you need to do, you need to go out there and get some skills in your life. I mean, you might need to go get a higher level cert, but don't just go get the cert just to say, hey, I got my certification, I got my CCNA. No, you might want to go take a class like some of the ones I offer, but you might want to go take a class at a tech college, boot camp. I don't care where you do it at, and actually go in there and start playing with the routers and the switches. Or you going for an AWS, you go out there, holler at my man Professor Black Ops. He'll teach you how to spin up a freaking AWS instance and start going out there and programming this stuff up, manipulating it, basically getting your lab on so that you can add this wonderful knowledge to your resume to show that you do have skills when it comes to doing junior admin roles for whatever it is that you're applying for. All right. I'm saying this based off of what he said in the comment. I don't know if this person's doing this stuff or not, but these are some of the things that you might want to do. So option A for this person is remove stuff from your resume that may make you appear to be overqualified. So go back to that resume writer and be like, hey, get this off the resume, get this off the resume, just get it off. All right. And option two is you might need to go out there and get your skills up and start learning some of these technologies that are associated with these junior roles that you might be applying for, so that when you go into the job interview, you can go in there with certification and skills in hand, saying, yeah, I know how to do this, I know how to do that. So that might help you. So that's something for you to think about. All right. A hiring manager has about 2 minutes to review a resume. Yeah, man. Like I say, you get a stack of resumes. Where's my camera? You get a stack of resumes. Ain't nobody sitting here trying to read a stack of these joints, man. Especially, shout out to this one dude, right? So about a year ago, I was offering some of y'all resume services on the YouTube channel. And this one particular dude, and I remember him because he shares the exact same name of a very famous person, right? An extremely worldwide known famous person. So he has the exact same name as this person. I'm not going to say his name, but this brother working in tech for like, I don't know, about 10 years or something, sent me his resume, was like, hey man, can you help me revamp my resume? I was like, cool. That joker sent that resume to me. I thought this joker turned in a damn 4th grade book report. I'm looking at this thing like what? You want me to go? I mean, it was just who is calling me? Hold up. That'd be funny if it was him calling me, talking about you on YouTube talk about me right now. Yes, I am. But anyways, that Joker sent me. That thing had so many paragraphs on it. I'm like, bruh, like this ain't the love connection. This ain't no freaking dating app here. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, why did you send it? So, man, it took me like 2.5 days to go through that thing to try to figure out what to remove. I had to go in there and research certain acronyms because I didn't know what the hell they stood for. I was like, oh man, this is. Ugh. And then after that, after I fixed his resume up, I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I canceled that. I canceled that part of my services. I was like, I can't do this. That takes up way too much time, man. But it was horrible. Adrian says, one last question. What are your thoughts on DOD jobs, Department of Defense? If you can get one, get one. Job stability is there. So, like I was telling y'all, one of these videos, it's hard to get fired from the DOD. Once you get a job working for the government, especially at the federal level like that, it is hard to get fired. Now, the one thing about it is, especially dealing with IT, you're more than likely going to have a security clearance. So that might be a roadblock for you if you don't have one already. Those of us who served in the military, the overwhelming majority of us, especially those of us working in tech, we all had security clearances. Matter of fact, I had a top secret clearance. I've had a TS clearance since 2003. Right? I'm still in the system, even though I'm not actively using it. So as long as I don't get arrested or I don't go out there and start taking bribes from Russia or China or something like that, I should be good money if I want to go get my TS clearance reactivated. But yeah, but anyways, one of the things that you might want to get is try to figure out how can you get a security clearance. Now, getting a clearance isn't something that you can just go to Walmart and walk down the clearance aisle and just start putting clearances in your buggy. That's not how this works. They're gonna have to go out there and do investigations into you to make sure that you're a good person. You know what I'm saying? You pay your bills. You're not out here just breaking into people's houses and selling all types of drugs. You're a good person, right? And it costs money to do those investigations, especially the higher the clearance level is. But that's probably going to be the main thing that's going to cause you problems if you don't have one, is trying to qualify for a security clearance so that you can apply for the job. And also with the DoD jobs, doing IT stuff, you're going to have your security plus. That is a mandatory, at least last time I checked. Let me put it that way. But it is last time I checked, which is probably about 2 years ago, it was mandatory to have your security plus certification to do any type of IT work at least at the federal government level. So, but if you can get in there and get you a job, you in there. You know what I'm saying? They pay decent money, become a GS worker, do what you do, collect your little benefits, go on your little 2 weeks vacations and live your happy little life, man. Um, you know, it's pretty good. I ain't seen no issues with it. Let me get this off my screen. I want to see myself. How I get myself back up here? Yeah, there we go. 95, I was stationed at Fort Carson on my way to Germany. 95, I was in the 10th grade working at Burger King. I was in the 10th grade whipping up 99-cent Whoppers. That's what I was doing. Wasn't thinking about no IT. All I was thinking about was money for Jordans and going to the mall to holler at girls. That's all I wanted to do. All right. It was a good year. 95 was a great year. Oh, man. What do you think about AI resume builders? I've never used one. I've never used one, but I'm assuming you take your information from your resume, put it into the AI resume builder, and then it jazzes it up for you. I'm assuming that's what's taking place. I'm assuming that you're not using an AI resume builder to build you a resume from scratch that's listing a whole bunch of crap that you ain't never done, right? So we're going to go with the first thing. So if it's a resume builder that you can put your resume in there, put all your information in there, and then it beautifies that resume to make it seem like And what I mean by beautify. So let's just say that you got on your resume, I changed 50 light bulbs. And then the AI resume is like, hey, let's make that sound better. You changed 50, you successfully installed 50 illumination systems. Then I don't have an issue with that because a light bulb is an illumination system, right? Dang, hold up. Hold up, man. Give me 1 second. My mom's calling me. So all right, my bad. Had to talk to my mama. All right. So yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So if this thing can enhance your resume by rewording stuff for you, then I will go ahead and rock with it. You know what I mean? Honestly, I think using AI to take what you do in your job role and put it into a job role summary. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I just said that. Yeah. So yeah, if it can enhance what you've already done, reword it, make it sound better, then by all means use it. All right. So I don't see an issue with that. I got a secret clearance from a job. Shout out to Emal. Thoughts on the tiny hats? All right, that's not what this channel's for. That's not what this channel is for, Grand Admiral Games. We are not talking about that over here. Shout out to Adrian. As long as you're a US citizen, there are tertiary roles that you don't need a security clearance for. I've had a USG, I've had USG cases aligned to me because I was the only US citizen on the clock at a time. Okay. Um, I don't know everything about clearances. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm the guru on that. But if that's what you're saying is true, then I'm just going to take your word for it. All right. Anyways, let me get back to these questions that I got to answer over here. So let me share my screen so we can wrap this up. Oh, what happened? So I can wrap this up and I go stuff my face, man. Supposed to be working out, but I decided to come in live stream with y'all, man. Give y'all some of this hot motivational fire. All right, this person with the weird name says cybersecurity is not about cybersecurity. He says it's about certifications. The business is, the business of cybersecurity is certifications. Very few are worth getting. The rest are junk. So I kind of disagree with that. Even though, although I understand what they're saying, because when you start looking at these certifications like Security Plus, Pen Test, cybersecurity, what is the other one? CYSA, what does that stand for? Cybersecurity analysts. Then you got the SANS, you got the, what is the other one? The CISSP, or anyways, you get these higher level certs. These things can cost some cheese. All right. Now, the thing is, yes, they cost some money, but will they help you get the job to make more money? At the end, let's just say you had to pay. Let's just say you had to pay $1,000 to go take a test. You know what I'm saying? You get one shot at this thing, you either pass or fail, right? And you don't get no refunds. But if you pass the test and you get this cybersecurity cert, there's a job out there that's going to pay you at least starting off $120,000 a year. Is the $1,000 worth it? I think it is, especially if you put in good, honest effort to try to pass it, and then you cough up $1,000, and then you get hired on at $120,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so what happens after you get hired on? So you don't pay the $1,000 for this random cert, and you pass it, you get your job for 120,000. When's the next time you think you're going to be actually taking a certification test after that? It's not like you're going to get hired and then 2 months later, 6 months later, you're going to have to go take another certification test. You're just going to be constantly taking test after test. That's not how this works. At most, you're probably going to be doing at least once a year or once every 2 or 3 years, probably once every 2 to 3 years. You're probably going to be doing CEUs, continual educational units. right? When you're attending some conference, you're performing some type of duty on your job, or you're taking some quick little class to recertify your $1,000 certification so that you don't have to go out there and drop another $1,000 on the test, on the certification. But the point I'm making is he's saying that it's not about cybersecurity. It's about certs because this is how these companies like CompTIA make their money selling certifications. Yes, that is how they make their money selling certifications. I mean, because look, I sell the vouchers, right? I know how much they cost. I know how much it costs me to buy them before I can add on any type of profit that I want to make, which ain't much. Truth be told, I might make like for every voucher I sell, I might make like $10. So it's not like I'm getting rich off these things, right? But because they got them marked up so freaking high. But the thing is, after you get the cert, after you pass the cert, and then you go get the job, right? Well, guess what? Unless you plan on going to study for another certification or apply for another job that says you have to have this type of certification, chances are you ain't gonna be sitting around studying for no certification. You're gonna be working, collecting your little paychecks, and going about your business. So I don't really agree with it. It's all about the certifications. It's like it's about the certifications until you get hired, and then once you get hired, and you're doing your job. That's it. You're just working. You're not sitting around reading books or watching Tech G certification videos all day, unless you just really like me that much. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how this works, man. If that made any sense. Let me get through the rest of these. How many of these? Man, I got a couple more of these to go. All right. Emmanuel says, "Hey boss, how you doing? I'm doing great, man." He says, "Hey boss, how you doing? I got some questions, man. I just got out of the Air Force as an MP, military police after 10 years, currently serving in the IRR and looking to join the Army as a 25 Bravo. Everybody wants to be a Bravo, man. Says, I'm already talking with a recruiter and I qualify for the job of because of the not the ass fab. It's I forgot what the name of them scores are, but I know he's not talking about the ass, or maybe he is talking about the ass fab. Anyways, because of the scores. And he says, I want to know how the job on a daily basis is. What do they do? And also, if you deploy as a 25 Bravo, what was the experience and the job and the deployment? Thank you. I appreciate the info in the video. All right. So shout out to another person who wants to be a 25 Bravo. So he says, what do you do? Well, that all depends upon what unit you are attached to and what is their mission. All right. I mean, that's the best answer I can give you. Every 25 Bravo in the Army, we all don't go off to work at the help desk and sit around answering phones and plugging in printers for the rest of our life, right? Some people might go work for the NSA, right? Some might go straight down range to like we're not in Afghanistan no more, but some of them might go straight to Iraq and be doing some crazy stuff out there. You might find yourself attached to an infantry unit, and while they out there kicking in doors and shooting crap up, you got to fix their little computers or something like that so that they can communicate with the brass. Like it all depends upon what unit you're attached to and what is the mission of the unit. Or you might find yourself as a 25 Bravo in a unit doing just because because basically you're the signal guy, and everybody else who's not signal, they all think that we're just we're just the magical man or woman that can just fix everything. So you might find yourself out there dealing with stuff that ain't got nothing to do with a damn computer, but being that they look at your MOS number, they think, oh, that's the smart electronics guy. He can go over there and fix a satellite dish. Like they might have you doing some goofy crap like that. Or worst case scenario, you might find yourself doing KP detail, working in working in the cafeteria, washing dishes, doing some stupid crap for a little minute. I mean, so anyway, it just depends on what your unit is doing. What is their mission? All right. So I can't really give you a definitive answer, but if I had to give you a stereotypical answer, meaning, okay, this is what you more than likely could possibly find yourself doing. You're possibly going to find yourself either you're probably going to be working at some type of help desk. And it might not be a formal help desk like you see at a regular civilian company. You might be the only IT guy in your company, and guess what? You're tasked with fixing everybody's crap. You might find yourself at the battalion level, the brigade level as the IT guy, doing whatever. So chances are you're going to be doing some computer related stuff, but it's not going to Now, keep in mind, I've been out the army almost how many years I say it's been? Coming up on 9 years. So things may have changed in the past 9 years, right? But when I was in the army, right, I was in for 13 years. Um, when I was in, most IT people, we did IT work. But there were instances where I did come across quite a few people that were IT people in these special units, like the one IT guy that I used to know that was part of a special forces unit, and then the other IT guy that was part of a ranger unit. Like they were the IT guy, 25 Bravos, but they were doing some all types of crazy stuff because of the unit that they were attached to. So it just depends on what type of unit you're attached to. But if you get attached to a quote unquote normal unit, you're gonna be the IT guy, man. You're gonna be resetting passwords, plugging in printers, fixing crap. Anything that goes wrong with the internet is your fault. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just this is the way it is. Everything that goes wrong with anything electronic or the internet is your fault. And then when everything is working and doing its thing, nobody hardly notices you exist. That's just kind of how it goes. All right. And he says, what do you say? If you deploy as a 25 Bravo, what was the experience in the job and the deployment? So I deployed as a 25 Bravo twice, right? Once again, this is all dependent upon the unit that you are attached to and what they do. So my last deployment, I was in Afghanistan. I was in Kandahar. I was at Kandahar Airfield, southern Afghanistan. From there, they put me on a helicopter, flew me about 30 miles east to a little FOB, forward operating base called FOB Wilson. They later on changed it to FOB Pasab. So I was there for about 5 or 6 months, right? The first 5 or 6 months, I turned into a handyman. You're like, what do you mean you turned into a handyman? So when I was there for the first 5 or 6 months, we didn't have a help desk. We didn't have a service desk. I had a team I had about how many contractors? It was my lieutenant, my sergeant first class, me, and then I had what was it? One, two, three. It was a grand total of like five military people, five or six military people in my unit that were stationed at this base. And we were attached to the 101st Airborne. And then we had about 10 or 15 contractors working with us. And when we got out there, we didn't have any place to stay or no place to work. So I had to go out there and start making friends, right? And I made friends with a warrant officer who just happens to be in the same fraternity as me. And so he was in charge of the supply yard. So I went down to the supply yard every other day and used to get a bunch of wood and a bunch of tools. And then luckily I had on my team a bunch of guys that had carpentry skills. So we spent literally like the first 2 months actually building the service desk that we worked in. And after we built, like literally building it up and then running all the wires, doing all the drops. So, I got a whole lesson in carpentry. Then we was over here installing drops everywhere. We had to burn in our satellite signal and all that crap. Like we was getting it in. But then once all that got established, then we turned into a regular service desk, doing service desk operations. We took over the internet because basically our job was to go out there and revamp the internet telecommunications for the base because they were doing a bunch of line of sight communications. We came through with the satellite dish, started blasting signals off into space because one of my guys was a satellite dude. So we got that set up. We got the TCF set up, the tech control facility. Basically, we took all the signals from all the commanders' offices and all that stuff, routed through the service desk, passed through the TCF, blasted all the signals out into space so everybody could have quote unquote faster internet connection, right? Even though it was kind of slow, but whatever. So that's what we did. Then after that, they packed my crap up. They flew me up northern Afghanistan, not too far from Iran, where I went to this base called Tarankout or TK. It was half the base was U.S. Army, half the base was Australia. Well, it was divided into three sections. My bad. So 1/3 was the Australian Army. One of the other thirds was the American military, the U.S. Army. And then on the back side of the base was the Afghans, where they lived like in the slum, like literally the slums back there. But anyways, we got up there. We had to basically repeat the process of what we did, except we didn't have to build anything. We just had to go in there and set up the routers, the switches, basically the data center, program all that crap up and get all the telecommunications revamped. So that's what I was tasked with doing. And then in the midst of this, we had to duck bullets, RPGs. We got to sit around and watch Apache helicopters light up the side of mountains, blowing people all the way the hell up. Like then we got what was that one night? that one night, I guess Ramadan had kicked off. So all the Taliban outside the base took their AK-47s, started busting shots in the air, and you could see the tracer rounds flying. And it was pretty cool till you realize, like, oh crap, I got to go sit in the bunker because those bullets going to come back down and rain on you, right? So that was part of the deployment, right? And then dealing with the explosions and whatever, all the PTSD stuff that the Army says I qualify for. So that was part of the deployment experience. So yes, when you deploy, if you deploy to a danger zone where it's like hot out in them streets, where people are actually bucking at you, you're gonna have to go out there and do some IT stuff and potentially get shot at the same time, right? There were a couple times where I had RPGs, like you can literally hear them. They sound, the little footballs you throw, and they sound like the little Nerf footballs when they make that whistle sound. There was literally a few times where I'm walking to work to my spot and I hear the whistle sound go off. And no, it's not a Nerf football, it's an RPG that's about to blow up and F somebody's day up. So that's part of the deployment experience as being a 25 Bravo, right? Now, back at my home base in Kandahar, where my homies was at, and then at the knock that some of my friends used to work in, they be in there chilling, looking at screens all day, resetting passwords, plugging in printers, going down the street to the what was it, the Starbucks? It wasn't a Starbucks. There was a Canadian coffee spot out there called it's this Canadian donut spot that they had on the base out there. And I think they had a TGI Fridays out there on Kandahar too. So they're going to TGI Fridays and doing all this crazy crap. But no, not the green bean, Chris. There was another one. It's all right, let me look it up because hold on, give me a second. Canadian donut shop. Tim Horton. That's what it was called. Tim Hortons. All right. They had where'd y'all go? Here y'all go. They had a Tim Hortons out there. All right. So that's what they was dealing with while I was getting shot at every other day. You know what I'm saying? Doing some IT work. All right. Wake up in the morning, hoping and praying I didn't get hit by a damn RPG. Get hit by an RPG. All right. So that was life, right? Shout out to this person, a deeply closeted gay man. Shout out to you, man. Says, can I get a help? Can I get a help desk job with only an ITF cert? Sure, you can. I'm pretty sure that because you got to remember the help desk is entry level. They pretty much take anybody, right? Even deeply closeted gay men like yourself, they will accept you into the help desk. So you go out there and apply. All you got is your ITF. You should be good to go, man. Then you can come out the closet and just be yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? We're in the year 2024, man. You ain't got to be in the closet no more. Just come on out, man. Just, if you like to let your balls jingle a certain way, go let them jingle. Just don't let them jingle next to me, but go out there and do your thing, man. Shout out to you, man. It's a new world out in these streets. But anyways, Emmanuel, that was my experience. Where'd you go? Let me get the big screen back. That was my experience. All right. The overall message here, Emmanuel, is it really just depends upon the unit that you are attached to and what their mission is and what they're going to have you do. Every unit isn't the same. Every mission isn't the same, but generally, you're probably going to be doing standard IT work. But you might find yourself doing some oddball stuff too, like where I turned into a carpenter for 4 months, learning how to do carpentry in the middle of an active war zone. So yeah. Uh-oh, where'd y'all go? Oh, crap. Hold up. I just lost where I put y'all. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right. Oh, it's 5:30. Let me hurry up and get through this, man. All right. So this one says, I don't know if y'all can read this, but it says, this from John Shepard. It says the average tech salary is not 100,000. So he's responding to a video that I said that the average tech salary is 100. Technically, he's correct. The average salary said 96,000. I just rounded it out to 100 just to put a nice, pretty number up there. But it says the average tech salary is not 100. He says it takes over half a decade. So in case you guys don't know, half a decade is 5 years, y'all. Why do people say half a decade? Why don't you just say 5 years? I mean, when people say half a decade, they're trying to make it seem like that is way longer than what it actually is. Half a decade is only 5 years. So whatever. Anyways, he says it takes over half a decade. So over half a decade is what? 5.5 months, 6 years? Anyways, it takes over half a decade to achieve that. And he says, even then, restrictions apply, such as a clearance. He says, I know because I am a tech in the industry and I deal with resumes more often than not. And he says, so for anyone, it is not realistic to achieve six figures for the overall majority within 3 years. Tier one will take you already 2 to 3 years. Tier two entry level will take you another 2 to 3. He says the only places you'll make six figures are in areas that are difficult to recruit and maintain, often as a result of high cost of living. Miami, Key West, Southern Cali, New England. Sure, you can get paid 120 just for fixing laptops, but the rent is 3,200 a month for a small place plus taxes. It says which, after everything is accounted for, is making a little over median wage. He says, will it take you 20 years to make six figures? No, but closer to 5 to 10. All right. So any of y'all been listening to my YouTube channel? I've been saying forever, within 3 to 5 years, I always say 3 to 5 years, if you are serious and know what you want to do in tech, go out there and get the necessary skills and certs, you can get to six figures. Now, that doesn't mean that if you live in some country bumpkin town and fly over America, that you're going to get six figures out there. You might actually have to pack up and relocate to another city. Right now, I thought that stuff was understood, but I guess I have to explicitly state this stuff from now on. So if you don't live in a major metropolitan area and you want to make six figures, you might have to pack up and move to a bigger city, unless you can find you some remote work or something like that, right? But I always stated within 3 to 5 years, it is realistic. But I also say within 5 to 10 years, if you're dragging your feet, right? Meaning you're just kind of coasting, taking your time with it, then fine. Within 5 to 10 years, you should be able to crack six figures. 3 to 5 if you're high speed, but it is achievable. Now, is it the standard for everybody? No, because everybody isn't high speed. Everybody's not. Everybody's motivated to watch the $100,000 YouTube video. Like, ooh, I can make $100,000, y'all. Everybody gets motivated to watch them videos, right? But when it's time for you to actually crack the books open, crack the labs open, start doing whatever it is that you got to do to get close to that six figures, guess what? That's when a lot of people's motivation goes out the window. It's kind of like New Year's, right? Everybody done got fat since Thanksgiving. We've been stuffing our face all the way out through Christmas. Then here comes New Year's. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to get in shape, right? New Year's come, you excited, you go to the gym, you get on the treadmill and walk 20 feet and you out of breath. Next thing you know, you don't quit your gym membership, right? The thought of you getting into shape was exciting. The act of you actually going about the process of getting your fat ass into shape is not exciting. That same mentality applies to IT and certifications, or getting the big salary jobs. Everybody wants to make $100,000. Everybody like, ooh, I can make 100,000. Tech G said I can make 100,000. Yes, you can. But when you sign up for a course, right, and you start looking at all the stuff you got to do, all the stuff you got to learn if you want to be competent, that's when a lot of y'all start tapping out. You'll be like, damn, this stuff is I don't know if I really want to make $100,000 that bad. I think I'm cool with 30,000. That's where some of that stuff starts creeping in. But for those of y'all who are motivated and you want to get to the money, because you know what the money can, here's the thing that I actually see where this happens. People who are seasoned workers and they've been on their own paying bills, living life, they understand the value of studying for a certification, which can possibly lead to higher incomes for them. The people who don't comprehend this crap are young people coming straight out of high school and college who have never worked. Like, they've always been up under the care of mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy been paying their cell phone bills. They're paying their college tuition. They're paying their car notes. They're paying they're paying for their entire lifestyle. So even when you start talking to them about 100,000, they might get excited about it, but it doesn't really register with them because they've never been in a position where they've had to actually earn money and pay their own bills. It doesn't really click with these young people. But these old crusty people who've been out there in the game for a little bit, they understand that. But even still, out of the old crusty people, the thing that hangs them up is like what I said earlier. Can you do the coursework? Because looking at the salaries is cool. Watching the videos is cool. Fantasizing about it is cool. But can you actually dedicate 30 minutes to an hour every day of your life to looking at this stuff and learning it, soaking it all up, not just so you can pass the test because you're looking at my wonderful slideshows, but actually going out there and getting your lab on, trying to apply this stuff so that when you go into the job interview, you can be like, yes, I know how to do this crap that I learned in my certification. Well, that takes discipline. And I'll be the first one to tell you, learning IT is some dry, boring stuff. All right. That's a complaint that people always tell me, man, your stuff is boring. Yeah, my stuff is boring. I don't care if you go watch other people on YouTube, you go take this at a community college or a university, all of it is dry and boring. The only thing that changes is who has the stupidest, who can tell the corniest jokes, right? That or who has the best personality for teaching this dry, boring stuff. But the thing you got to remember is what's at the end of the rainbow of the dry, boring stuff? A higher paying job. I mean, the $100,000 salary that got you to watch my video in the first place. Like, if you can figure out, get the intestinal fortitude to sit there and go through all this stuff and learn it, and then you actually decide, okay, this is what I want to do in tech, get serious about the crap, you can realistically crack 100,000 in 3 to 5 years. I got a student, my man. Go look at the video of Demetrius, my student that I posted a couple weeks ago. He was a dude working at Walmart making $12 an hour 3 years ago. 3 years ago, $12 an hour working at Walmart. Zero IT experience other than turning on his smartphone or watch freaking YouTube. Fast forward 3 years to this day, he's getting job offers for 100,000. Now, yes, he is. Now he does have to relocate. I think he's moving to Hawaii. Matter of fact, he got a job offer to go to Hawaii, but he's a young man with no wife, no kids, so he should go to Hawaii. But they're coming in. You know what I'm saying? And that's way more than $12 an hour. So just depends on what you want to do, man. It's not going to come for everybody that easily, but it's realistic because a lot of people have done it. So, all right, last question. All right, this person says, do you think the new MOS 25 hotel network communication system specialist will help prepare me for a career in cybersecurity, or should I choose 25 Bravo? Which MOS do you think has more transferable skills for civilian jobs? This 25 Hotel is made up of 3 MOSs, 25 Lima, which is the cable dogs, 25 Novembers, and 25 Quebec. So once again, I've been out the Army for almost how many years? Almost 9 years. I don't know what a 25 Hotel is. Let me look that up. Even though you just told me what it is, but I don't know exactly what that means. So let's look up 25 Hotel. I don't know what that is. All right. Network communication specialists. All right, let me make this bigger. You'll supervise network management functions while overseeing integrated network control centers and multi-channel communication systems. This includes installing tactical fiber, cable wiring. So you're going to be doing some cable dog stuff, along with helping to troubleshoot and re-engineer associated network assets that support operational requirements. Sounds like basically you might have exposure to routers and switches and some PCs and stuff like that. You'll also perform routine maintenance check on vehicles, generators, and equipment, which is pretty much what they all do. Like I said, I've never heard of the 20. So you say this is new, so this wasn't around when I was in it. This sounds like one of those MOSs, which is actually what you're saying, that covers. You learn a little bit how to cable some stuff and deal with fiber optics. You learn some stuff over here, 25 November, which I don't even know what the hell that is. And 25 Quebec, you learn something over here. it's kind of hard for me to answer that. I mean, it sounds good, but obviously I'm going to lean with the 25 Bravo because that's what I was. That's actually the IT person. So here's the thing: if you want to be an IT guy, working in IT, doing some IT crap and chasing IT certs, so you can get those $100,000 a year jobs I was just talking about, go become a 25 Bravo. Right? Once you become a 25 Bravo, if you make the rank of E5 or E6, I think you might. That's when you might qualify to go for the 25 Delta MOS. That's actually the cybersecurity MOS. Matter of fact, let me check that because that was actually coming online when I was getting out the army. Yeah, it's called the Cyber Network Defender, the 25 Delta MOS. So that's basically the cybersecurity MOS for the army. I would go that path because you're basically strictly hyper focused, well, quote unquote hyper focused, because in the army you're never truly hyper focused, but you're hyper focused on IT related stuff. So if that's what you want to do when you get out the military, I would do that. And yes, obviously the IT stuff is very transferable because IT is everywhere. It's in the finance industry, education, defense industry, health industry, transportation industry. You name it, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? Yes, your skills are very transferable. All right. So I would just go with the 25 Bravo. Now, this depends upon if you plan on doing a couple years and getting out. If you plan on doing 20 plus years in the military, then you might want to figure out which one of these MOSs will get you promoted faster because some MOSs, there might be everybody and their mamas in there. And guess what? They're not promoting anybody. But if you go to this, because I had that actually happened to me. I was a 25 Bravo. I was 25 Bravo. Back in 2009 or 10, I got promoted to staff sergeant, E6, right? Before that, no, I got promoted 2010. My bad. Late December 2010. Before that, I was an E5. I was an E5 for like 5 freaking years, right? Because there was no openings to get promoted. It was a 5 or 4 years, meaning the promotion points were maxed out at like a 798. And it's impossible for anybody to get a 798, no matter what you do, right? So basically, they do that because nobody can get promoted. Anyways, I had a friend who reclassed to be a 25 Papa, which is another signal MOS. He jumped up to the rank of E7 because they had all these opening positions, right? They didn't have nowhere near as many people in his job that he switched to that were in my job. So I was stuck for like 4 years at E5 before I got to the rank of E6. But during that time frame, he got promoted from E5 to E6. And then when it came time for him to get promoted to E7, he got picked up on his first look. So here he is 2015 when we're getting out the army. He's a sergeant first class, and I'm a staff sergeant. He's a senior NCO, and I'm still a quote unquote junior NCO, right? So, but anyways, he's still in the military. I probably make way more money than him now, but it is what it is. But go become a 25 Bravo, man. So yeah. All right, let me read a couple more comments. I'm getting off this thing. All right. Let me go back up where we at. Shout out to deeply closeted gay man. If y'all want to hit this, y'all want to hit the super chat like our gay buddy right here. Y'all go ahead and do that, man. Is that not the same time frame it would take? Oh yeah, okay, we read that already. Yeah, we was talking about that earlier. Let's see. All right, I had an E5 under me back in 2020. Told him to finish his bachelor's in software development and security with UMGC, University of Maryland Global College. That's where I actually got my master's degree from. Says he did. He got a security plus, got his foot in the door right before he separated. He's working help desk. So I don't know if you said that as a man, he's working help desk, like kind of like he did all that just to get a help desk job. I don't know the tone of that last part of the comment, right? But regardless, if he did all that, he got his degrees and he's working, and if he got to start at help desk, he got to start at help desk, right? You know, nobody should be looking down on the help desk. It's not a permanent position where you're going to be there for the rest of your life. Sometimes that might be the only way you can get into tech is by going through the help desk because they hire pretty much anybody, right? So if that's your only way to get into IT, Take the help desk, do your time in there, 6 months to a year, no longer than 18 months. That's more than enough time for you to skill up and go find you another job. Up, see? I need to start reading the comments first. So he just said all that. And then he just said his man stayed there for a year and now he's making 95,000. See? So he went from E5 making under 40 to 95. See? Yeah. Whole IT and tech industry about to get bodied by AI anyway. Jobs gonna get cut hard. No, it's not. So everybody's like, oh, AI is coming to replace you. AI is not about to replace anybody anytime soon. AI is still stupid. I mean, it's not as smart as you. Listen, AI can't even figure out how to freaking make fingers. Have you seen the AI artwork? They always mess up the fingers. They never can get fingers right for some reason. So AI is not about to replace people. AI is about to be a tool that people can use to simplify their jobs. That's what they're going to do. They're going to use it as a new tool to speed up their jobs and make life easier. But if we ever get to the point where AI replaces people, we're talking probably like 10, 15, I don't know, 10, maybe 15, 20 years. I don't know. But as of right now, 2024, 2025, you'll be all right. AI is not about to replace you. Shout out to Chris studying his OSCP. Let's see. Better yet, you can meet the expectation for the 90,000 or 100,000 job. He says, I was up at 2 a.m. pulling reports. I've been on call since 11 p.m. I get Slack messages and emails on my weekends. That's the job, though. Oh yeah, that is the job. I don't really miss that part of it. All right. So it's another tool. See, I just said this, man. I need to start scanning these comments. So it says it's another tool for folks to put in their toolbox. Facts. All right, y'all arguing about AI. Shout out to y'all. I'm about to get off this thing. All right. All right. Shout out to Grant to the help desk made him the man he is today. All right. Shout out to my man. So, anyways, y'all, I'm caught up on my comments. I got to go back through my chat, my comment section on YouTube. See if anybody else left some comments we can make a video about. But regardless of all that, the most important part of this whole live stream, the most important part is this right here. Is my A plus. The most important part is my A plus class. Listen, like I say, for those of y'all who don't, and listen, I'm going to be doing this for IT fundamentals, A plus, net plus, security plus, right? Because I'm redoing the brand new security plus stuff, right? So those of y'all who feel like, hey, I need some motivation, because a matter of fact, tonight at 8:00, I'm supposed to be meeting with some of my students that have already signed up for the program, so I can check on their progress, give them some motivational speeches, and then answer any questions that they might have. But that's what this program is about, man. It's about helping y'all stay motivated and accountable, because let's just keep it a buck. That's right. I gotta plug the class. Listen, it is what it is. I gotta plug the class, baby. But the thing is, some of y'all sign up for my memberships on YouTube. You get to look at my slideshows. Some of y'all, for literally a handful of y'all, that's enough. But the overwhelming majority of y'all need something like this in your life. Whether you're getting it through me or you're going to a tech college, university, or something like that, y'all need a structured plan. Like I say, I've been teaching IT in some capacity on and offline for like 8 years. I'm talking about hundreds on top of hundreds of students I've come across and helped get certified over the years. Like I said, because I did this for 4.5 years when I was in the Army, right? And then offline and, here and there, working at tech college, doing all kinds of stuff, right? A lot of y'all need help. A lot of y'all need more than just looking at somebody's slideshows and watching their YouTube videos. Y'all need to actually be held accountable, have somebody explain this stuff to you, make it make sense for you. That's what I'm here for, right? So if you're interested, go sign up, man. You got to fill out an application form. Only thing I ask for is your name and your email address. I'm not collecting driver's license information, social security cards, bank account, none of that crap. You go to the bottom of that document, fill out the application to see if we can get you right out in these streets to help you get certified, right? And then, like I say, in the coming weeks or whatever, months, I'm gonna be doing the same thing for Network Plus, Security Plus. Then, if I got time in my life, I might even start stepping up to higher level certs like CCNA, Cloud, and AWS. I might start adding that stuff into it. But just these basic entry level certs, man, they take up so much of my time because I don't have a team working with. I'm the one man band. I'm the teacher. I'm the YouTuber. I'm the editor. I'm the marketer. I'm the person that keeps track of all my spreadsheets for my business. I do everything. So I'm only one. I'm only a one man band over here. But for those y'all who sign up, I'm making my mission to help y'all get certified, man. So go sign up for that. That's the most important part of this whole video. Tech G certification training. Go check my community tab. I'll be posting certifications all over the place, man. People be passing these tests. Have you done any videos on how vets can write resumes, jumping to tech using their military experience, evaluations of what? Nah, I actually haven't. Maybe I should try to put together a little thing. Because here's the thing with vets, they got services for that. You can go down to the VA. I'm pretty sure there's somebody at the VA that can help people write a resume for free. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're like, let's just say you was in the infantry or something like that, you took all your NCOERs. All right, that's a bad example. Anyways, I haven't done no video like that. Maybe I should entertain it, but I don't know. I don't know. I'll think. How about this? I'll think about it. Right. I'll put that on my little notes of something to possibly think about. But I haven't actually done a video like that. And maybe I should start making more videos talking about vet stuff. Because I am a vet. Talk about the benefits of IT and how vets can use their benefits and do this, that, and the third to get in the tech. Maybe I should actually start talking more vet stuff. I don't know. But anywho, I'm about to chuck deuces. It was nice chatting with y'all. Like I said, if y'all want to go sign up for my program, go sign up. I'm gonna get you right out in these streets. Shout out to my man who put some money in the super chat. Appreciate that. Sign up for a channel membership if you just want to look at my slideshows and get certified. Shout out to my man Uncut Underground. Shout out to him. That's the homie right there. With that, y'all be easy, man. I'm out. Peace.